Yeah, I'm really interested in the understanding of public conflict about GM foods, but for reasons I think that are very different from the ones that make other people interested in it. Other people want to understand why there's public conflict and what the nature of it is. I want to understand why they think there's public conflict, and also why there isn't in the United States. In fact, people in the United States, they don't know, they don't have opinions about GM foods, they just eat them. And when you're surveying them, you're asking them about something they've never heard of before. I mean, it's not just a normal question. If you ask them about climate change, they don't know very much about that, but they have heard about it and they do have opinions, and it's something outside in the world, in their relations with other people, that figures in their conversations and their relations with them. GM technology is not. People, if you tell them about it, they say, well, I hope we never have that because it sounds terrible. We have had it for 30 years. And if you tell them that, they go, yeah, I know. That's why I always look at the labels to make sure I don't eat any of it. It's not on labels. So you're not actually sampling public opinion. You're modeling what it's like when some strange public opinion researcher abducts a person and starts probing parts of their consciousness to see what would happen when they're exposed to issues they've never thought of before. And you can't draw any inferences from that to what other people are thinking. First, because they're not thinking anything about those things. And second, because when they learn about those, if they ever do happen to learn about GM technology, it's going to be under conditions that are completely different from the ones that this poor person who's being polled is experiencing. And there are tricks of the trade to make people say they're afraid of them. So Pew will ask you about what you think of pesticides and get you in a frame of mind where, because of the way that risk perception works, when you arouse the affect of anxiety, everything you say is going to reflect more anxiety about that thing. It's as if you've raised the bottom of the Likert scale from 1 to 3. And then people are going to say, oh, they're going to think genetically modified organisms, oh, you're asking me about the same thing, well, I'm scared about that. Or maybe they just are scared if they've never heard about it. But in fact, they're eating them all the time. They're not scared of them. The referenda where you have 90% of the people in California or Oregon or Washington say they want labeling, they don't actually predict what happens when people have elections. So this is a classic issue where non-opinion is being measured.